Time now for my final thought. On Sunday, you'll likely be glued to your television screens, watching some of the biggest stars in the world perform and accept awards at this year's Grammys. It's a family tradition for many, including my own. And given comments by his ousted chief, Deborah Dugan, there are allegedly serious problems within the Recording Academy. According to Dugan, the ceremony itself is rigged and clouded by conflicts of interest. In an interview with CBS this morning, she said some of those making decisions about the process include trustees that have conflicts of interest and even nominated artists themselves. Dugan says that she was suspended because she reported a rape accusation against the former CEO and corruption within the Grammy nomination process. The Recording Academy says that Dugan was suspended after a formal allegation of misconduct by a senior female member. Needless to say, the allegations are rather shocking and disturbing. Grammy host Alicia Keys canceled interviews leading up to the show, and Taylor Swift, according to US Weekly, will not be in attendance at this year's awards show. So is it bad? Absolutely. But I do believe there's an opportunity here. The public deserves to know the truth. If the process is unfair, if it's rigged, we deserve to know. If talented artists were the victims of a system that elevated some and devalued others, we should know that too. And if the allegations are true, the Academy has a responsibility to address it head on, cleaning house, starting over, and implementing the 18 recommendations outlined by the Grammy Task Force the last time there was a scandal. If this situation has shown us anything, is that the time for real and substantive change is now. I look forward to seeing how they address it Sunday night. That's going to do it for us. From the entire team here at the Q&A, have a great weekend.